The Gina and Matty podcast.
The secret's out. Who's been spilling all the beans?
Well, there's a health and wellness influencer in Sydney raving about the Central Coast and how cool it is here and how Instagrammable we are. We already know that. But she lists all the best places to get your matcha latte, do yoga and bliss out on this. It's pretty cool. I mean, it makes us sound, I think, cooler than we are. We're pretty
Matcha
cool.
latte.
Yes.
Seriously.
So-
Just get a coffee.
No, a turmeric matcha latte. Did you say matcha or matcha?
I don't know. Tomato. It's cool the whole thing off. I would not say that word. So it doesn't worry
The
me.
turmeric matcha latte is kind of yellow, makes your tongue really yellow. It's a bit spicy. It's really, really cool. You can get one of those up at Long Jetty, like the Burnt Honey Cafe. Oh, that is so good there. If you're in the market for an iced latte, strawberry matcha or an acai bowl, Blackfin Espresso in Toukley is where you can head. Or, Matty, you can release your inner horse girl. You got one of them?
Sorry?
Your inner horse
My
girl.
what? All right. She's been waiting to put on some chaps. Get ready to go.
We've all got one. You can go up to Glenworth Valley's Wilderness Adventure. You get your own pony for the day. You ride off on a scenic trail ride. And once you reach, wait, this is the bit that gets me in. Once you reach the secluded lunch location, what do you reckon happens, Matty? It's got me in.
You can have a swim. No. If you're in, hang on. You can. There's a bottle of Chardonnay waiting for you.
Yes. They got a bougie picnic set up with wine and cheese tasting.
Oh,
Come on.
see, wine and cheese, yes. Matcha lattes. I gotta give that a
You
miss.
got to try it before you say no. And then nothing sounds better than getting a deep tissue massage where you can head over to the Day Spa in Kilcare. They've got all the healing remedy and everything you need on that menu to make you feel fabulous. And it's pretty spectacular out there as well. Have you been out to Kilcare, to Bells?
Love it.
So
nice.
beautiful, so beautiful. And
They
what
don't like me
about...
staying around long. They're like, you've been here long enough in
Yeah.
Kilgare. It's time for you to turn around and get back out of here, mate. You don't belong. No, sure, no worries.
We don't have your type here in your Crocs.
Yeah, that's right.
And what about some early morning yoga at Copacabana? Become that annoying friend who wakes everyone up at 6 a.m. That's a sleep in for us. And you can engage in a little savasana. Is that how you say it? That's before the sun
tell
rises
them the
yoga.
story. What is it, Loz?
Savasana.
Savasana?
Savasana. She doesn't know.
Bless
what
That's in yoga.
Yeah. So they'll enjoy it for a minute, but you'll be feeling all centered and unravelled, and you can go to Yoga Copa for that. How
I'm as
cool are we?
flexible. I'm as flexible as a fence paling. I
too.
really need to get around doing some of that gear
I'm
because
really inflexible as well. Yeah, we got to go, but it's too late for us. That one, 6 a.m. You could head up if you wanted a couple escape. Go up to the Ironbark Ranch Co. There's 105 hectares of private bushland in the hinterland. You can connect to country as Indigenous guides lead you through breathwork and meditation practices.
sounds good.
It's in the Bordeaux National Park. You get tools to nurture and nourish each other. It's a couples thing. You can do a Bordeaux coastal walk, speaking of the Bordeaux National Park, a genuine hidden gem. They like
Yeah,
to.
I
This
love
is
that.
very TikToky, Instagrammable.
I do a lot of my trail runs through there.
Do you?
When my ankle was a decent, but yeah, so good. A lot of training for big, long ultra marathons. Doing it through there. The elevation you can get in there. Sorry, is everyone just tuned out? Sorry.
You mean
What
go
else
up,
is boring?
go up steps and down steps, and it's really hard.
Yeah.
And
No,
worth the
Let's go
view
back to the
though.
matcha latte. Let's go back to the matcha latte.
Worth the view, Maitland Bay. How cute is that? Cute little picnic spots along there. And if you want to recover, then Matty, which you seem to need to want to do, you can recuperate from a hectical.
Hectical.
That's a new word. I don't mind it. Hectical physical life. You can get unlimited ice baths and saunas at the Engine Room in Tuggerah. How cool is that? Or hot and cold therapy at G Recovery in Berkeley Bar. And there's one right near us
Just
here in
opposite us.
Erina, opposite here. So I didn't realise until I heard it all out loud how, well, we think we're pretty cool. But the Central Coast, we've got some pretty Instagrammable spots and pretty fabulous if you're into health and wellness.
Why don't you do a little TikTok of your favourite spots around the coast, Gina? You should
I
do a little.
should actually.
Gina's coolest spots on the coast.
I
you
should.
know? Go viral.
Yes, Wells.
The beery.
Yeah, the boardwalk at
Yellowfish.
Terrigal. Yeah, yellowtail, bellyfish.
Yes.
We don't need no one from Sydney telling us where to go. We got Gina Jeffries.
Gina and Matty.
Yesterday on the show, I was telling you about this new farm that I've bought.
Yeah.
I'm not Singo. It's not a real farm. It's an ant farm that I have. We bought an ant farm for my 7-year-old son, Ziggy. The kids have been pestering me for pets, and we're not really in the stage of having a pet yet. So the best thing I thought was like, you know what? You can have an ant farm.
Perfect.
And so cheap. And all I had to do the day before yesterday was get on my hands and knees in the backyard and try and catch 20 ants. Things I never thought I would do in my life.
Imagine your neighbours watching over the fence. What are you doing, Matty? Oh, nothing.
Catching ants on my hands and knees, digging through a garden, swearing at dirt because I can't catch them because they're so fast. Using tweezers to try and pick up ants. Anyway, I came up with a little MacGyver invention that I sucked them up with the vacuum cleaner with the tissue over the sucky bit, so then the ants would stick to the tissue, and then when you turn the vacuum off, the ants would just drop into the ant farm.
They just
Look,
didn't
seriously.
stand a chance, did they?
Nah. Well, I think they are protesting now.
Are they?
Because, so it had been 24 hours. I was here at work yesterday, and then I went off and did a whole bunch of other stuff. Got home last night about, it was just after 6 o'clock maybe I got home. Rocked in, and Ziggy's waiting for me at the front door. He's like, Dada!
Uh-oh.
Dada! They're ants! And I was like, oh, okay, cool. What's happening? Have they made tunnels in the dirt through his little plastic ant farm that he's got? Yeah. And he's like, you didn't close it properly! And I was like, what do you mean? I did. It's sealed. I heard it click when I clamped it. I put the things on the side. It has a little stand on the bottom that you clip it into.
This is all your fault.
Well, I know. It's like, mate, I bought this for you so you were responsible for something. Learn responsibility, and it's all on me. Anyway, and I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean I didn't close it properly? He's like, well, I went to go feed it because you're meant to feed the ants every 3 days, like a couple of drops of honey or a little bit of sugar. You drop it through the little holes in the top, and then you keep the dirt moist by doing a few drops of water. He goes, anyway, I went to feed the ants. I pulled the cover off because they like being dark, apparently. And so he pulled the cover off. I could only count about 4 ants. I was like, well, there were 20 in there, mate. So then got the torch out, and they're all just running around in his room. They're on the walls. They're in the bookshelf.
No. Do you put them back, or do you kill them, or take them back out to the garden?
I got the vacuum cleaner back out, and I didn't have the tissue on the end of it. I was like, guess I'm looking for some more ants today.
Gina and Matty.
Matty, how do you go using maps on your phone?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. I spent years driving around radio station promotional vehicles, handing out icy cold cans of Coke and the latest copy of Dolly magazine. If you like it, come on over. So I'm pretty good with streets and knowing my way around certain areas, knowing my way around the coast, knowing my way around Sydney pretty well. I did a bit of time down there.
Bit of a man thing, I reckon, because my husband, so back in the day when we were touring a lot, we didn't have maps on our phones. We had these paper maps, kids, used to pull out of the glove box, and they'd be like the size of the windscreen.
Huge.
And boy, could there be a argument between the driver and the passenger, and then the passenger, me, gets like a bit car sick and I'm like, I can't look anymore, I'm getting car sick.
And do you have to turn the map around the way that you're travelling in as well, so the map could be up?
Of course, I had it. But Rod didn't like using maps, so he would rather use his memory, and that didn't always work out. But on the way to Sydney, remember on Monday I travelled with Janie from the Central Coast Cancer Council down to Sydney doing the world's biggest morning tea. Yeah, so on the way, Janie's got the map just on her phone though. She hasn't got the car that's got the big map. My car's got the bigger map.
That's
so
fancy.
she's on.
Little flex there from you, but that's okay.
So we're having a nice old chat and we're following the map. But you know when you get to Sydney and it just starts getting a bit hard? You got to make some choices.
If you're in the wrong lane, you could end up in Cronulla.
Yeah,
right
before the bridge there, that gives me massive anxiety. I won't even drive in Sydney anymore. I'm at the point like I'm just not anymore because I get too bad anxiety. So Janie's mum rings right before that and Janie goes, oh, Mum, I'm having a big chat. She goes, I've got to go. We're just at the hard part of getting onto the bridge. Got to go. Need to see my map. And her mum goes, all right then, darling. Oh, hang on. Your father just wants to say something quickly. Dad in the background, you didn't call me since I had my heart surgery. Janie goes, yes, I did. It was pretty major. She goes, Dad, you had a stent put in. It wasn't major and I did call you. Dad, yeah, but it was hard. Mum interrupts again. What are you doing on Mother's Day?
Oh, God.
I thought I'd go and get some crabs. Meanwhile, we've missed the first bit. Janie's going, She goes, Mum, I've got to go. No, I'll let you go. How many do you think will be coming? Like, how many should I get organised for Mother's Day? How are the boys going? Oh, and how's your dog? Gee, he's a big dog. He's a big boy. He's more of a horse, isn't he, really? Hang on. Your father wants to say something again. Meanwhile, Janie and I are lost. She's given in. She's given in.
You can't, and there's no hurrying up a parent story either. Even if you try and fast forward it to at least a couple of scenes into that story, they'll always go back to where you interrupted and make sure they fill in every single detail that you tried to skim over.
Hello, Janie's mum, if you're listening. We made it eventually. But we had to. We went it was quite easy. It was on the rocks, where it was at the Shangri-La. So usually you just go over
down near the overseas passenger terminal. Down that area.
You just go over the bridge and then you do the quick lefty at the end there. It's not that hard. We went the wrong way, came out over the other side, had to do a big lap up near King's Cross, kind of back around, back through the city. But we were, and I'm having a little bit of anxiety about being late for the gig as well. But I'm not saying
nothing worse than that feeling either, that anxiety of being late.
But
because
we
you're
made
listening.
it.
Oh, it's so good. You just had to do the parents' detour and you got there. Fantastic. What have you got for us, Sarah?
You need to use the tunnel excuse.
Okay, so this is to get off the phone from your parents
To get
when
off
they're
the
telling
phone,
you a long-winded story. What's the excuse?
The tunnel excuse or the bad cell service. We're heading through the tunnel now. You might cut out. So sorry. And then you can hang up on them at any point in the story and they'll forgive you.
Oh, sorry, Sarah. We missed most of that. You must have gone through a tunnel. Thank you, mate. We appreciate it.
The Gina and Matty Podcast.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.